Ladies and gentlemen, the show we've all been waiting for, Paranormal Buzz Radio is proud to present REP Paranormal and Friends with your hosts, Kim Purvis and Allison Robinson. Live every Thursday night on Spreaker, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific. Be sure to check out their Facebook page, REP Paranormal Busters.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of Paranormal Buzz Radio or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is strictly prohibited. For information on everything Paranormal Buzz Radio has to offer, visit our website, paranormalbuzzradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Listener discretion is advised.
Alright everybody, welcome to another night of REP Paranormal and Friends. Before we get started with the show tonight, we just want to give a shout out and congratulations to Matt and Shay on 2 years for the Paranormal Buzz Radio, and we'd like to say thank you for letting us be a part of this awesome network. We very much appreciate it. Alright, so tonight we're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to talk about, hey Allie, we are going to be talking about, like folklore and some urban legends, things of those nature. So I'm probably going to butcher some of the names of these things, and also, you know, my writing, I can't really read it, so I don't know why I bother to write things down, so just bear with me. Alright, so the first one that I have here is called the, I'm going to say it's Nain Rouge, or the Red Dwarf. This is based out of Detroit. It began in 1701 at a party held by a governor of France in honor of guy's last name was Cadillac. He was like a lieutenant, I believe, in the military. Because he was given permission to build a fort. And a fortune teller shows up at the house at this party and wants to read his fortune. So he's like, okay, he's kind of skeptical about it, but he lets her do it. She started off by telling him that he would find a city bigger than New France and would have lots of children. And he asked her to go ahead and continue on. And after that, his fortune kind of turned dark. She had stated that him pursuing the sales of alcohol to savages in the country would cause much trouble and would ruin him. And I think it was like the Jesus or something like that. That's how it looks. It looks like Jesus and then it's afterwards. Was a Catholic brotherhood that opposed to the sales of brandy to native tribes. The fortune teller proceeded to tell Cadillac his colony would be the scene of bloodshed and strife, and that the hated English will struggle for possession. She also warned him that the Nain Rouge would, that he should not offend him. Okay, so jumping ahead a few years later, Cadillac and his wife are out for a walk when they hear a couple talking about the conditions for the poor, stating one of them had recently seen Le Petit Homme Rouge, which is that little red dwarf. The Nain then appears to Cadillac, and he takes his cane and hits him with it, and he vanishes. After he hits this little red dwarf, he hears a voice say, "You have offended him, and you will be brought to ruins." And so after that, it is said that that if you had misfortune ever occurred, that the Nain Rouge would appear to warn them. So he basically came as a warning to let you know that something bad was going to happen to you, or something bad was going to happen to your city, or whatever. He was kind of like a warning. And as I kind of read through some of these things, a lot of people were scared of these different folklore and urban legends, but instead of them coming to like harm you, the more I read into some of them, it seems like they were coming to warn you instead of harm you. A lot of different ones. I had never heard of that one before. I guess they have like some kind of festival for it held in Detroit. So you'll have to go check that one out online, but it was interesting to read. The next one that I had was the Black Aggie. Sorry, I have the hiccups, and I chugged a glass of wine before I came over. So, it's been a rough week at work, so. Alright, anyways, back to it. Let's see here. The Black Aggie is known as a statue of a mysterious woman in a dark cloak that is seated at the Agnes family plot in Druid Ridge Cemetery. Some people say her eyes will turn red at night, and if you sat on her lap, you may die within the next few weeks. It is also said that pregnant women were warned not to cross in front of her, as they fear that they may miscarry. The statue was made for Marion Clover Adams, and she was very well known and one of the earliest portrait photographers. She had become grief-stricken when her father died, so much so that she ended her life by drinking the chemicals she used to develop her photos. Her husband, Henry Adams, the great-grandson of President John Adams, was devastated. So he had one of the most noted sculptures, Augustus Saint... I can't read the last name because my writing's that bad. It starts with a G, I know that. To create a memorial. And it became so popular by tourists and became like an attraction. And so he tried to hide it by like having trees or shrubs around it to kind of, have that grown in front of it so people wouldn't notice it as much. And a lot of people actually wanted to duplicate the sculpture, but he refused to let anybody know who made it or, how they could have that duplicated. But then, we had Felix Agnes. He came along and he purchased a plot in the Druid Ridge Cemetery. And he, was a world traveler, veteran of the war, newspaper publisher, and he actually bought the copy of the Adams Memorial for his plot. Him and his wife actually buried in the plot. And it was after their deaths that the statues started, or the stories started, saying if you were to visit Aggie in the dark and look her in the eyes, you will become blind. And then after a while, due to vandalism, the family donated the statue to the Smithsonian Institute in 1967. So they didn't really put it on display. They kind of hid it away. But then it ended up, the final location for it was on the east side of Lafayette Square, which was the same neighborhood where Marion Clover Adams took her life in 1885. So that's kind of weird that, you know, the original one, I believe, is still located at her resting place, but the duplicate one is now almost on the same street as to where she lived and had taken her life. So that's a little interesting, a little odd, and you know, I couldn't see if people still go there, and if, you know, if there's still stories about it, but it used to be a big popular thing where you would go there. There's a lot of those kind of things around, though, in cemeteries. It seems like we have several around here in Iowa. I mean, we had the death chairs here in town at one of our cemeteries. Unfortunately, one of them is no longer there due to vandalism. But it was said that if you sat in the chair, then you would die or something.
Yep. Or you or a loved one would die soon.
Yeah. And they were made out of stone, right? But did they look like they were wood? Like they were like a tree? Or...
Yeah, they looked like they were made out of wood, a tree.
Yeah.
You know, but it was stone.
Yeah. I haven't been there for a while, so I haven't really looked to see if the other one's still sitting there, nor would I probably sit in it. Even though I don't really know if I believe that stuff, but, you know, I don't know if I would ever try to go sit in it, because I don't need that.
Well, in Guthrie Center, there's one called the Devil's Chair. It looks similar to it, but it's a little bit bigger. Because I saw pictures of it.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like there's a lot of those type of angels, too. And, like, isn't there a black angel you were talking about?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it here. There's 2 black angels in Iowa. The black angel in Council Bluffs, and then the one over by Iowa City. Mm-hmm. One in Council Bluffs, they say she, if anybody's sick, can go touch her, and she brings good tidings to the person that's sick. And the other one, if you touch her, you're gonna die. So
yeah, 2 very different,
2 different kind of angels, but
yeah, very interesting. I just like to hear those kinds of things, and you know, so many of these different folklores and urban legends, there's so many different stories to them and different ways that people perceive it. So it's hard to say, you know, what's the truth about it or how they really came about. But it's fun reading about them. Like, I read a lot of different ones. You know, another one is the Banshee. And my daughter swears she hears that sometimes at night, along with her ambulance sounds. I haven't heard it. I'm like, well, maybe it's just a coyote. She's like, that is not the sound of a coyote. But the story of the Banshee has been told for like many years, and it's known as a female spirit who wails outside a home to warn of death of a family member or a loved one. And one of the stories that I read about claimed that the Banshee is the ghost of a young woman who was brutally killed, and that her death was so terrible that she watches family and loved ones to warn them of death. And then there's some people that believe that the Banshee can take on different forms, and like, I read some different forms of this, and I'm like, some of them got a little crazy. But in Ireland, she is mostly seen as either a beautiful young woman with long hair, usually silver or white, sometimes red, or an old woman in rags with gray hair and like rotted teeth and like really long nails, and just looks really rough. But, the Banshee, as we all know, is most known for her wailing, or keening is what they call it. And, which is an Irish word that is used to describe a woman who used to do this over a body of a deceased person to ward off evil spirits. So, I think a lot of people are afraid that, they thought if they heard it, then they would be the ones to die. But in reality, it could be a family member too. So you just never know. There was several different, different stories on that as well, in different forms. I didn't write down all the different ways that people have seen her, but excuse me, I got these hiccups. I can't stop. Another one is the La Llorona. And this one they actually made a movie on not too long ago, and I wanted to see it. I was supposed to go with my daughter, but I think she ended up going with somebody else. Go figure. But there were several different versions of this one. And like they even tied her going back to like ancient Greek or something like that. Like there was somebody that was similar to this. In some of the versions they call her Maria. But one of them was about a young peasant woman, and her name was Maria. And she actually ended up marrying a wealthy man. And they had 2 kids together. But before Maria's husband lost interest in her, she was out walking next to the river with her kids when she noticed him in his carriage with another woman, a younger woman. And the saying is that she got really mad and she just threw her kids into the river and drowned them. And then after she had calmed down and realized what she was doing, she was overcome with grief and is said to spend her days crying by the river. And so now my nose wants to run. Ugh. Let's see, I lost my place here. Alright, let's see here. Another one said that Maria actually drowned herself. So, like, after she realized what she had done to her kids, then she drowned herself after that. And then there was another version that said that she was like a vain woman who spent most of her nights in town partying and, getting drunk instead of taking care of her children. And so then when she came home one night after being out drinking all night, she realized her kids weren't there and they had drowned. And so then she was then cursed for neglecting her children, and so she is therefore to search for her children in her afterlife. Okay, for one, how would you know your kids drowned? Like, I mean, if you come home and you're drunk, and you come home and your kids aren't there, you're just going to automatically assume that they drowned? Like, there wasn't really much detail in how she found out that they had drowned. Unless she lived next to a river, I don't know. It didn't really say in the story, but there was just a lot of different versions. Like I said, there was one that was talking about how there was a woman back from Greek that was a lot similar to her, but it seems like, and then there was another one that, let's see here, it says that some fear the Llorona, that they're afraid that she's actually going to take their children and drown them in the place of hers. Some think she is actually there to warn you. And those who hear her wails will soon face death themselves. And then sometimes she is said to appear to discipline naughty children. So if children aren't listening to their parents, then she supposedly shows up and disciplines them. So that way she must put the fear in them so they listen. I wish she'd do that with my younger one. She's naughty. If I was her kid, I'd stand right at the line she can't cross and be like, "You suck, Mom." That's a good one. Yeah, no kidding, right? Oh,
bring it on. Come on, bring it on.
Yeah, that's right. I know. Let's see here. Did I write anything else down? I don't know, because I started to and then I was just like, I didn't write any more down. But, I mean, there's actually so many different things. And like I said, there was, we already talked about the death chairs here. And we talked about the black angels. And, does anyone else, have anything that they want to talk about? Like any urban legends or folklore that you, know about? I mean, there are so
See, here's the
many.
Chair.
Oh, yeah, Kim's showing me a picture. I'm sorry, I really have the hiccups. It's from that wine, I tell you. Ugh.
Black Angel. Oh, it's Fairfield Cemetery in Council Bluffs, the Black Angel statue. She is to follow people with her eyes and bless whoever touches her with sickness. And it's also said that she flies away at night. And the other one says, it's death if you touch.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see one of those statues fly away. Like, seriously, really? Come on now. Yeah. How's that big-ass statue gonna fly away unless it's taken by a storm?
You just never know.
Just never know, I know. I mean, there are so many of them, but some of them I really couldn't pronounce, so that's why I was like, oh.
Here's a cemetery here in Iowa.
Uh-huh. At Veggers Cemetery in Stratford, there are Indians buried among the other graves. Legend says if you desecrate an Indian's grave, you will be cursed. Apparently, 2 people got in serious car accidents within weeks of visiting this cemetery. All right, who wants to go? Oh,
here's another angel.
Okay, I have to look this one up.
There's a legend at Shellsburg Cemetery in Shellsburg, Iowa, that if you walk up to this angel's headstone at night, you can hear her softly crying and will see tears running down her face. Ooh, that looks interesting.
Yeah, and with that La Llorona, I can't even talk. Yeah, like I said, to keep the kids in line. Like, that lady is used to keep the kids in line. Do we have anything like that here? I don't know if we do. Well, yeah, I guess the boogeyman. Like, if you don't go to bed, the boogeyman's gonna get you. That's true. I need to see that movie sometime. I have not watched it yet. I was just looking up this one because I had seen it, I just hadn't read about it. I just ran out of time. Like, I have a hard time focusing. I really do. Like,
I've been sick. I have an excuse. I've been sick.
I've had a lot of Squirrel Man. I saw Bye Bye Man and then I said Squirrel Man. A lot of squirrel moments lately. Like, my brain is just fried. But, there's this one. This is more... Okay, I gotta read this one. What the frick is this?
Mm-hmm.
Just some noises going on. Hey, Darren. Okay, so this is actually like... What the frick? Okay, so there's a legendary Native American figure, and her name is, like, she goes like a deer woman or deer lady. And deer woman is a deer spirit of the eastern woodlands and central plain tribes associated with fertility and love. Like many other Native American animal spirits, the deer woman is sometimes depicted in animal form, other times in human form, and sometimes as a mixture between the two. And although she's usually considered a benign spirit who might help women conceive children, some portray her as a more dangerous being who might seduce men, especially adulterous or promiscuous men, and either lead them to their deaths or leave them to pine away from love sickness. And then it says, among contemporary Native American people of Oklahoma, deer woman often plays a boogeyman sort of role, said to trample and cautious people to death, especially girl-crazy young men or disobedient children. Some people say that this more violent version of deer woman is actually a human woman who either transformed into a deer after being raped or was brought back to life by the original deer woman spirit after being murdered. Others say she is the same old deer woman and just a few good reasons to be in the worst mood these days. What the frick? I don't know if I really believe in a lot of folklore. I really don't. I think it's just old wise tales, honestly.
I want to go to this bridge.
Oh, Kim found a bridge she wants to go to.
Marsh Rainbow Arch Bridge, Lake City.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Rainbow Bridge is said to be haunted by a chocolate-loving ghost. The legend goes that if you lay an unopened chocolate bar in the center of the bridge at midnight, after 5 minutes, you will find the unopened candy bar with its intact wrapper, but the chocolate inside is all gone. I gotta go check this one out.
Yeah, no kidding.
That one's easy to check out there.
Wow, geez.
Let's see. These are legend roads that you shouldn't drive on.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of weird roads and... Who's a tweaker? What? I'm missing something here.
Let's see. The legend goes that if you walk down 9th Street to the graveyard in Sheldon at midnight, you can see a figure of a white, shadowy ghost hovering in the air.
Nick says, raccoon, like in parentheses, raccoons in the shadows. Ooh, we're ghosts. Leave chocolate. Oh, gosh. Oh, Darren says there's a few urban legends in Wisconsin. That's cool. Do you know them at all? Oh, gotcha. The chocolate ghost isn't a ghost. It's really a tweaker. With some good magic skills to take the chocolate out of the wrapper without opening the wrapper. That's some skill right there. Oh gosh, there was another one that I had read, but I don't know why I didn't write it down. I was trying to do this and then the power went out the other day.
I've been laying in bed. I didn't get much done.
Oh, crap. I lost it. Go figure. Son of a biscuit.
Hey, Edinburgh's one of the urban legends.
Really?
Located in Monticello, 150-year-old Edinburgh Manor is rumored to be haunted by the Joker.
Oh.
A violent ghost known that chokes visitors. Never heard he chokes them.
Yeah, I haven't heard that either.
It had been a mental institution among other things. At least 80 people say they are said to have died here and are buried out in the cemetery, where visitors have reported a ghostly figure. There's only 36 in the cemetery, so it's got to be a cemetery unmarked. It's got to be the unmarked cemetery that no one can find. Well, some people have found it.
Yeah.
They know where it's at, but we haven't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's supposed to be one.
I didn't know there was supposed to be a ghost in Merle Hay Mall.
Darren says US 12 highway hitchhiker. So there's a ghost hitchhiker on there? Baraboo, close to Wisconsin Dells. The other one's the Headless Horseman. There were so many different stories on that one. So many different versions. A lot of them.
For our schoolhouses here.
For our schoolhouses on there?
Mm-hmm.
What's their thing about? Let's see here. The Farrar Schoolhouse in Maxwell was built in 1921 and was used until 2002 when it was abandoned. The local couple Nancy and Jim Oliver bought the schoolhouse and soon started experiencing some very strange things. The couple reported hearing voices and seeing shadow people and orbs. One day, Nancy became unsteady on the stairs when a hand on her shoulder helped catch her balance. She turned to thank her husband, but nobody was there. She then saw the outline of a small boy on the stairway descending into the gym. Other people have darker stories about the school and claim to have been attacked by a shadow figure on the 3rd floor, leaving them with red welts on their neck. People standing outside the building have seen figures standing in the windows staring outside. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, that would be something to experience. They're talking about it'd be cool to experience a ghost hitchhiker. As long as the ghost hitchhiker has gas money, I don't care. You'd care if they'd, kill you.
Hey, if he's male, good looking, I might be important.
There you go. Be like that lady who was gonna marry a ghost or whatever that was about.
No,
or she had sex with a ghost or something.
Yeah,
I'm like, what?
I can kind of remember that one.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell? I don't know what she was smoking, but that what the okay, so I just talked about having sex with a ghost and stuff, and Nico says, been there, done that? What? Oh my gosh.
Here's another legend. Let's see.
Oh gosh, there was one that I was gonna talk about, and I don't know why I didn't write it down. Damn it.
Children of Iron Hill. Whoops. I'm not good at this.
Okay, I am not looking up freaking Taylor Swift. She can go suck a big one, because I hate Taylor Swift. Sorry, not sorry. No. Oh my gosh. Yeah, timing does matter. Cause I was like, what the hell? Oh my gosh. That's too funny. Excuse me. Alright, let's see here. Oh, what's that one?
I can't get it to stop. Children of Iron... The Iron Hill. And I can't get it to stop to read it. I'm not good with these computers.
Jim's having technical difficulties over here. What the frick?
I always get it go too far. I give up.
Ow. I have a toothache too. Oh, here we go. See if it was on here. Gosh, I can't even remember the name of it. freaking irritating. See if I can find it here real quick. Oh yeah, there's the chupacabra too. That one I think is from Puerto Rico. And that one's not that old, actually. I think it was in the 90s. But that one came about when there was, like, attacks on, like, livestock. And it, like, looked like the animals had been drained of their blood. And the wounds, though, were around its neck. So it kind of sounds like a vampire type thing. But, you know, they couldn't explain what caused it. And then there's so many different variations of what this thing looks like. So who really knows? But some say it had like a forked tongue and alien-like quills. And it kind of spread over Latin America and even to the United States. And a lot of people believe it's true. I think there's been some shows about it on TV, but I haven't watched those, so I'm not really sure. But it could be some just kind of weird, unexplained animal that hasn't been... What's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think. Going with vampire. Sounds like a vampire. Okay, I keep missing what Darren is saying. I can't keep up with chat. Like, I'm just... It's like... Okay. Darren says, Bloody Bride Bridge in Wisconsin Rapids. The claim is if you go on this bridge after midnight on a full moon, a fog will come across the bridge and you can see the couple's car and the bride comes in your car and leaves a wet spot. What the fuck?
Okay.
Wow.
Let's go back to this one.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. Matt says I'm not cleaning that stain. Hell no.
Yep. I finally got it to stay up.
Oh, okay. So Kim got this to stay up. Okay. The legend goes that sometime in the 1920s, there was a fiery train crash near Charles City that killed many passengers. One car was full of orphan children who became trapped in the train car and perished in the fire. It is said that the ghost children can still be heard crying, and sometimes the smell of burning is detected. Some have seen the ghost of a little girl walking through the woods in a white dress, and one person reported finding a burnt baby doll half buried in the ground by the tracks. Interesting. That's crazy. That's what she said. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Never a dull moment.
Not with our chat.
Nope. No,
we have fun with our chat.
I know. Now Darren says Siren Bridge. You got a lot of bridges in your place, Darren. A lot of bridges. I think a lot of towns have something to do with like a bridge and stuff. There was that one bridge where everybody thought that like, you know, kids were like pushing your car or something. Remember that?
Yeah, but they proved that was wrong because of that. It looks like it's going uphill, but if you get everything out and the levels and everything, it's not. It's going downhill.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, here's the Ghost of George in Iowa.
Yeah, we need to make a trip to Darren's. Yeah, it is. It's always a bridge or a school or a road, some kind of road. There's always some kind of trauma. There's that other one where, gosh, what was it on? There was a paranormal team that went there and like they were screaming something over the bridge, but I can't remember if it was about like looking for their baby or something. It's like a mom was supposed to be on there.
It's something about Amish. It was Amish people. Something happened on the bridge with the Amish, and their child died at that bridge. Mm-hmm. Well, I remember the show because it was on one of the shows that didn't stay on very long.
Yeah, I can't.
It had to do with the paranormal and the Amish people.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly, and like somehow their car started like doing all this weird stuff, and he claimed not to have his keys or whatever, and You know, and then they always say that you see, like, these dark figures or whatever walking on these roads or something, and I don't know, I'd like to go out there and just check it out sometime just to see.
Here's one in Clarion.
Clarion,
Charlie's house.
Oh, okay, they say to go to this house, walk upstairs, and pick up one of the old photos on the ground. Then take the photo home with you and sleep with it. When you wake up, the photo will be gone. And when you go back into the house, the photo will be back on the floor where you found it, and there will be a dark figure in the picture. And apparently this figure's name is George, and he will haunt you after you touch the photograph. They say that if you let him touch you, he will take a part of your soul. No, it wasn't an Amish kid that had a car. It was like a paranormal group. They were on there trying to do this, whatever. You had to yell this thing out over this bridge to see if this lady would summon or hear her cry or something for her child or something like that. And so when they were doing it, supposedly their car started to honk and like all this other stuff. And, you know, they walk over there and his keys are supposedly sitting on top of the hood of the car, so he couldn't do it. I don't know. But no, the Amish kid did not have the car. There was something else I was gonna... There was another one that I had found that was kind of interesting. Gosh, I should have wrote all this stuff down.
Yeah, you should have.
I told you, I have squirrel moments. Like, the power went out, and I was trying to do laundry. You know how that goes. Then I kind of fell asleep. Let's see here.
After being sick for a week, I went to work and came home and went to sleep.
Oh. Here's one. It says that there's a collection of these paintings featuring orphan boys crying, and they're said to be responsible for a series of fires. That's interesting.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember this one. King Tut's tomb. Oh my gosh, I used to be obsessed with that back in school. Like, I had books and everything on it. But I don't remember them saying that, like, what is it? That he would lay a curse on whoever entered his tomb. I don't remember that part. Maybe it was in there. I don't remember.
There's a freaky bridge for you.
Oh, hell no. Nope. That looks like it's gonna fall apart.
It looks like it's going over a gorge, and it's a wooden rope
swinging like bridge. Yeah,
walking bridge.
There's something like that. Well, the ones that Gina and I went over at Three Bridges were it was missing boards.
That's been missing boards since I was a kid. They never go fix it.
Yeah, I was like, don't bounce on this thing, because I am not going down there. Yeah, there's a lot of crybaby bridges. That seems like just about every town has one of those bridges. Seems like. I keep hearing noises.
I told you, things have been going on in this place.
Yeah. Weird. Weird. Let's see here. What the fuck? That is not it. It's just, I can't tell. It almost sounds like I thought it was raining outside at first. I hope not. Gosh, where did that go? I lost it. I should have wrote it down. I'm so bad at this. I really am. Or there's like the Bloody Mary. I remember doing that in school. That was the thing to do.
In slumber parties we used to have,
Yeah.
You used to do it all the time.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if anybody's ever had that work.
Don't know.
It'd be interesting, because I always freaked the crap out of me. Oh my gosh, I remember we were doing that at one of my friends' it was like in middle school. And they lived in a trailer. And so this one kid who, I think his name was Steve. And he crawled underneath their trailer. And as we're doing this, he's banging on the bottom of the trailer, like up on the floor. It freaked the shit out of us until we realized it was him. Yeah, Steve Seeley. I remember him. That kid was nuts. He drove his car to 7th grade. And over the intercom, they said, you know, so-and-so with this car left their lights on. Can you please go turn your lights off? And then so shortly after that, he asked if he could go to the bathroom. And he left in his car and never came back to school. Yeah, never came back. I don't know if he ended up going to a different school or if he just dropped out in 7th grade. But he drove a car to 7th grade. Yeah. Way off topic, but still. It's always Steve. Oh yeah, what was the Charlie one?
Huh? Charlie. You mean the Charlie house? The ghost of Charlie?
I don't know. Nick asked about Charlie, and I don't know what that one is. You'll have to elaborate. I don't know what that one is, I guess.
Oh, I don't know what Charlie is.
Oh, Matt says, because you have all these noises and weird things going in your house, and he goes, that's what happens when you have a huge coven of dolls in your house.
That could be part of it. And plus, I got a ghost at work that follows me around, too. He could be here, too. He's not happy at work. He's throwing things at me now.
Oh, gosh. He's throwing things at you?
Yeah. Glass bottles at me.
Holy shit.
Like I was explaining to you, it was sitting on a cart, and I'm probably 6 feet away from it, and that box hit me in the back of the leg and no one around. So you tell me if he's mad.
Yeah, I would say he's mad.
Because there's no way it should have came off that cart the way it was sitting.
Yeah, no kidding, no doubt.
I think what he's mad about is, see, I brought Jack home.
Oh, yeah, you said something about that.
And ever since, he's been throwing bags. Bags have been falling and where they shouldn't be falling. And I think he's mad because I brought the cat home.
Oh, gosh, yeah. He could possibly be.
And I think he follows me home because he knows Jack's here.
Oh, yeah, he wants to visit Jack. Could be. Could possibly be.
Let's see.
They're talking about the Charlie bit my finger. That video, that look in the truck. I haven't seen that video in a long time. That's funny.
Let's try this.
Oh. I guess I never heard of it. I have to look that up. Charlie.
I've never heard of Charlie.
I'm going to look this up. Charlie. Is it the Charlie challenge? 2 pencils and balance them and ask questions. See, yeah, well, okay, so I used to do one of those things where, okay, you held 3 pencils, you had, 2 going the long way and then 1 going across, and then you had a partner that did the same thing, and you had the points together, and then it'd go in for yes, out for no, or vice versa. That's how I used to do that.
Hey, here's urban legends for each state.
Oh, I just put in Charlie. It was not that video that came up. It's what the fuck Charlie challenge, real or fake? Playing Charlie haunted game at 3 a.m. Okay, so let's see. Okay, yeah, so that's it. The pencil thing. That's what you're talking about. Charlie Channels is a modern incarnation of the Spanish paper and pencil game called Juego de la Lapicera. Like a magic 8-ball, the game is played by teenagers using held or balanced pencils to produce answers to questions they ask. Teenage girls have played Juego de la Lapicera for generations in Spain and Hispanic America, asking which boys in their class like them. That doesn't sound... So is that supposed to be the scary one? Or, like, what's the scary one? Like... Yeah, I'm surprised that video didn't come up at all. Yeah, they say it's like a demon that they summon or something with this. I don't know. I did it some other way. I don't know. Maybe they do. I mean, I used to do it like with... I should like demonstrate that and put a video up or something. Kim and I could do it. But like, that's what we used to do. We used to do it with like 3 pencils and go in for yes, out for no. And we got some weird stuff like when we were younger. Or light as a feather, stiff as a board. Do you remember doing that one?
Mm-mm.
You didn't do that one?
Mm-mm.
Where you lay down and then you have like a couple people like on each side of you and they use 2 fingers like they on each hand and they put them under you and you just say light as a feather, stiff as a board and they can raise you up.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to do that all the time.
Oh, these look cool.
Okay, what? You guys are going way too fast in chat. I can't keep up tonight.
Yeah, because I'm not in chat keeping up, so...
My brain is not that well lately, okay? It's just not. It's gone. My brain is gone. Oh, does she like you or doesn't like you? That could be scary. Oh, that's funny.
Here's some urban legends for each state.
Witchcraft shit. What?
Here's urban legends for each state.
Oh, nice.
Let's see. Alabama, we got the Dead Children's Playground. Alaska, we've got... Well, how do you say that? Kashataka?
Something. Kashtaka?
Shape-shifting creatures that are a cross between an otter and a man. The Kashatakas make noise and mimic children's and wives to lure fishermen through. They are sometimes helpful tricksters. Then in Arizona, you got the Slaughterhouse Canyon. Then we got Arkansas, the Dog Boy.
Dog Boy. Okay, we had a deer one, now we have a dog boy.
Werewolf-like ghost walks on all fours and haunts his childhood home. And this myth is based on the sad story of a real man, Gerald Bettis, who was rumored to experiment on stray animals and reported abuse his elderly parents.
Interesting.
In California, they've got what they call the Dark Watchers. Dark silhouettes, often with brimmed hats or walking sticks, stare down travelers during twilight and dawn in Santa Lucia Mountains. Dang, Then
Interesting.
Colorado, Riverdale Road. Connecticut.
Oh, Annabelle. Of
Connecticut.
course.
Delaware, Corpse Light. Where'd my arrow go? Florida, the Devil's Chair. Georgia, the Cursed Pillar. Hawaii, Night Marchers. Idaho, Water Babies.
Of Massacre Rocks. What? Sit by the river and you can hear the sounds of babies crying. They're the babies that mothers were forced to kill during a famine rather than see them starve. Some say that these babies evolved into tricky creatures with fins and gills. Okay.
Well, Illinois has got the ghost elephants.
What? Okay. What? Okay. A real life 1918 train wreck of circus cars leading to troop deaths has popularized the legend that elephants had to be buried where they fell. Now, supposedly, the circus still takes place at night in Woodland Cemetery. That's interesting.
Okay. Indiana, the green-clawed beast in the Ohio River.
With hairy arms, clawed hands, and green skin, the human-sized creature grabs unsuspecting women. Some believe the specific incident that inspired the legend was an extraterrestrial visit related to the Kentucky Goblin sighting, which happened on the same day.
In Iowa,
Villisca, yeah. Oh, Kansas has the gateway to hell. One of the several gateways to hell in America, the stairs in an old demolished church open to the other side on Halloween and the spring equinox. Well, I wonder what church that is.
Kentucky
Goblins. The Rougarou or something.
That's Louisiana. Maine is the Colonial Buck's Tomb.
And Maryland has the Goat Man.
Massachusetts has got the...
I don't think I've seen, have I seen Hellier? I don't know. Maybe. I can't remember.
Puckwidgies.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that one.
Tiny gray tricksters resembling humanoid porcupines. Supposed to lure people off cliffs and trap them in sand in swampy regions of Massachusetts. Michigan. The Nan Rouge.
Oh, yeah, that's the one I talked about tonight.
Minnesota. Winnebago. Mississippi. I don't know how to...
Mercatus? I don't know.
Missouri, Zombie Road.
Ooh.
Montana.
The Phantom Hitchhiker of Black Horse Lake. There's your Phantom Hitchhikers. Nebraska has radioactive hornets.
Spiteful Mermaid of Pyramid Lake
Lake
in Nevada. New Hampshire.
Goody
Cole. Let's see. Goody Cole. Eunice Goody Cole was blamed for numerous local tragedies and accused of witchcraft twice. Legend said the locals staked her heart to make sure she wouldn't bother them, but they continued to blame numerous events on her. Some say she still pays a visit from time to time.
Interesting.
New Jersey, the Ghost Boy of Clinton Road. New Mexico,
Mala Ora.
New York,
Cropsey.
North Carolina. There's your vampire.
Vampire Beast of Bladenboro.
North Dakota.
Minnewacitu.
Ohio, the Loveland Frog.
Okay.
Oklahoma, the Men in Black at
Shaman's
Portal. Oregon.
The Bandaged Man.
Pennsylvania. Charlie No Face. Rhode Island. Mercy Brown the Vampire. South Carolina. Woo Hogs. Hags. Woo Hags. Can't read. South Dakota. Walking Sam. Tennessee. Skin Tom.
Texas, the Candy Lady.
Maybe she has the chocolate that disappears on that road.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
The Curse of the...
Escalante Petrified Forest.
Vermont. Deep Frozen Folks.
Frugal Vermonters facing extreme winters have been said to freeze their elderly and thaw them in the spring. Is it more scary or utilitarian or both? What the hell? I'm just going to freeze these old people for the winter, and then I'm going to thaw them out in the spring and see what happens.
Virginia, the Bunny Man.
That sounds... Oh, I think we talked about that on another episode. I think we did. I think Darren might have brought that up, the Bunny Man or something, or somebody did.
Washington, Caddy of Cadborough Bay. West Virginia, the White Things. Wisconsin, Rhinelander. Hodag. An ugly, stumpy character with a spiked tail in Paul Bunyan's stories and reported likes to eat bullfrogs.
Bulldogs.
Oh, sorry. It's hard to read. Wyoming. Platte River Ship.
Wow.
That was interesting.
Yeah, that was interesting. A lot of things I've never heard of. Alright, well, before we wrap things up... Oh, let's see what Darren said. Indiana has a cemetery that has 100 steps where if you walk up them and get to the top, and when you walk down and don't come up with 100 steps, a Grim Reaper is supposed to kill you. That sounds wonderful. Alright. So, before we wrap things up, I believe next weekend, or next Thursday, we are shooting to have on, have to look it up again. I want to say her name is Kathy.
We have a guest.
We have a guest next week.
You won't have to listen to just us.
Yeah, you won't have to listen to us ramble. I actually have a guest. I'm looking it up right now. Trying to anyways, but... Oh my gosh, what the hell? Oops. No, cancel. Let's see. I think it's Karen. Karen, maybe. I know it starts with a K. Oh my gosh, I'm so terrible. I can't even think. I'm not even looking in my email.
I don't have it written down, so that's why I don't know.
Let's see here. I'll get it. Yes, it's Karen. Karen, Frey. I believe we're shooting to have her on next Thursday. We are going to be discussing an event that's coming up. It's the International Festival of the Unexplained. It's going to be hosted the 24th through the 25th of October. It's a 36-hour nonstop parathon with guests from UK, America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and celebrity guests, workshops, presentations, and much more. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait to hear all about that. I believe the following week after that, on the 22nd, we are shooting for a pre-recorded one because that is state qualifying for cross country, so I will be gone for that. But stay tuned. I'd like to give shout outs to everybody who was in chat tonight. We had Matt, myself, we had Darren, we had Nick, and we had Nico, and we had Allie. So Thank you, everybody who was in chat tonight and participating with us. Thank you to everybody who was not in chat but listening. We appreciate each and every one of you. And once again, congratulations to Matt and Shay on the 2-year anniversary of Paranormal Buzz Radio. And once again, thank you for letting us be a part of this awesome network. Peace out, everybody.
Thank you for listening to REP Paranormal and Friends. Be sure to check out Kim and Allison on Facebook at REP Paranormal Busters.